Germany, the temperature is only 73. Ja, hallo. I'm back from the Deutschland and I've converted my entire personality into a German person.
Yeah, this bitch took some kind of a psychedelic over there, and she's not been the same since.
I had lederhosen surgically implanted into my skin.
Your bottom half is just crudely sewn in later. It's like the Tusk movie where the guy turns the fucking guy into a walrus.
Except now I'm permanently disfigured and look like a weird German little boy.
Do you not have feet anymore? It's just like open pant holes at the bottom.
It's clogs. Wooden clogs. Oh my God.
Well, the drill is back in town again. And God, you just got back Sunday?
Yeah. It's weird because we left Sunday. We left from Italy because that's where we ended our trip. And we left at like 11 a.m. on Sunday in Italy and then got here at like 7 p.m. on Sunday in the U.S. because of the time change.
Oh my God. I mean, that's kind of convenient because it's almost like you had like just a day of traveling,
Exactly.
but it was really 2 days probably.
No, I know, because when we went to Germany, like going there, it took about 2 days.
That's so fucking insane.
Fucking ridiculous.
So what was the first thing you did when you got there?
I had a big Wiener Schnitzel. No, I mean,
You're like, I gave up on being vegetarian. I just started pounding hot dogs. Left, right. I got a bratwurst. I got a Wiener Schnitzel. Oh, Jesus.
I sampled the various wursts in Deutschland. No, I mean, we got in super late and we didn't really have dinner at that point. So his mom just gave us like, food from their fridge that she had.
Und here is, we have our stale bread. There only the end pieces left, so we didn't really realize.
We saved you the best for last.
Yeah.
The end pieces are the best.
Because everyone has touched them and gives them their love.
Oh, it was really sweet because his mom was like showing me all the different like pickles and olives that she got me because Marco told her how much I like pickles and olives.
She's like, I've been hoarding them.
I brine them myself.
I sold out all the grocery stores in Germany of pickles.
Yeah, she like opens the cabinet and it's like all pickled and it just spills out.
I'm wanted in 5 counties.
It's illegal to have this many pickles. Yeah, it was delicious. All of the food was really good, but god damn, did I blow up some toilets.
Yeah, Jill got back and checked the news and she was a wanted terrorist.
It was so funny because like one of the first experiences I had with Marco's extended family was like this really nice little barbecue that his parents put together, and the food was so good, and like his grandparents came. So his Opie, who is his mom's dad, you call the mom's parents Omi and Opie. So his Opie, his mother's father, his wife sadly passed away this last December. But his wife's sister is named Ulla, and Marco basically told me they're like a carbon copy of each other. They're so similar that I might as well have met his grandma. By the way, the grandma that passed is Lieselotte, like the...
Oh my God, I love that name.
I know, that's the name that Marco was like, we should name our daughter Lieselotte if we have a daughter. I was like, okay.
You're like, what about Harold? Marco, you know how much I love Harold.
For our beautiful baby girl, Harold.
Heralda.
Well, so I was going to the restroom in Marco's parents' house during this little barbecue, and Ulla forgot to lock the door. So I like opened the door on her and she was on the toilet, and like nobody speaks English except for Marco. So she was like, oh, and then she was like saying something in German. I was like, and I
unknown dialect.
That's like the dialect that they speak like familiarly with each other. Excuse me, sorry. So anyway, she like freaks out and I was like, oh my God, like I was so embarrassed. And this is like the second day that I've been there.
And you just like introduce yourself to her shitting
Her
her brains
bare
out.
ass,
No.
yeah. And
she was sitting backwards on the toilet.
straddling it. I felt so embarrassed, and I was telling Marco what happened and he was laughing about it. I was like, Marco, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if I walk in on your dad going to the bathroom, I will kill myself. I will actually end my life. Like, there's no fucking way either of us are gonna survive that.
I'm gonna kill myself and everyone here.
Mass murder, suicide.
You're like, that's it. I can't live
Yeah.
with this shame.
Because like his dad is so similar to Marco. It's like insane. Like someone hit copy and paste, and like his dad is so fucking funny because he doesn't speak English either. And like there was one time like in the morning I kind of like overslept. So I came out to breakfast a little bit late, and mind you, he hasn't spoken a fucking word of English this entire time. He looks at me, stands up a little bit like from his chair, and like points to his watch on his wrist. He's like, time is money. I was like, ah! It's like, oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I brought shame to this family.
I know.
I'm leaving
Get
now.
out of my house. No, it was so I mean, he was just teasing, but it was
Oh, of
so
course.
funny. I
That
was
is
like,
the most German fucking thing.
I know. It's like, I just imagine that he like looked up what that was and how to say it, or just like knew it from a movie or
He
something.
was
and
practicing by himself
in the mirror
since
time
6
is
in the
money.
morning.
Time is money. Time is money.
Und time ist der money. Fuck!
Scheiße!
Time ist den money. Fuck!
Dude, you know that the meme of the kid sitting with like a vein popping out of his forehead, like
Yeah.
he's like concentrating? That was me trying to practice like stupid basic German shit, like to people that actually did speak English. Because like we went over to Marco's friend's house at one point, and he had like this big strawberry bush, and I wanted to ask him if I could have a strawberry.
He was a ginger.
Yes,
He didn't have
and
a-
I just
a
wanted to
garden.
like take a big handful of it.
I love that big strawberry
Give me
bush
some
of
of that
yours.
strawberry bush. And I looked up how to say, "Can I have a strawberry?"
Sure.
And I said it in German, and he was
Puedo
like,
tener un fucking strawberry.
"Fresa."
Fresa.
Yeah, in Spanish. No, and he was like, "Yeah, of course." Like in English, he answers me back. I'm like, "God damn it!"
I know. Oh God, the last time I was abroad. Well, the last time I was abroad was in China right before the pandemic. So weird timing, but
That's a little suspicious.
not responsible. I may have farted into a open air market, and
and caused a massive viral spread.
yeah, it's possible. But no, when I was in Europe, because you're going, if you go to Europe, you kind of make the most of your trip and you kind of country hop because you can.
Right.
It's like hopping states in the
It's
U.S.
so easy.
Yeah. And so you go from like trying to speak French in one country to German in the next, and then maybe Spanish if you're in Spain. But because Spanish was the first and only language I'd really learned for a couple of years in high school, I kept wanting to phrase some German things in like the Spanish vernacular.
Like the dialect.
No, like how you'd put together a sentence.
Oh, like grammatically.
Yeah, grammatically. But German is different. I mean, every language structures their sentences differently. So
Yeah.
I knew like a few key phrases, and I know the alphabet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's, I can count to 10. Was ist das Schitte?
Yeah.
Das
Ich
Pupen
muss
farten.
Pipi machen. Yeah. That's what Marco and I were calling, like when we had to go to the bathroom. Like, I have to make a poopin' farten. Ich muss poopin' farten.
You closed down so many bathrooms, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you were farting in front of strangers.
I left a trail of destruction in my bath. So we were looking out on the ocean, and this like magical like castle ruin. Like it was like a castle that had disintegrated essentially.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the windowsill of this little window that was looking out into like this little cove area where like a bunch of people were swimming, and it was like super cool. They were like fucking jellyfish, which is fucking wild.
Amazing. And you're contemplating pushing Marco out
Right.
off the ledge.
And ultimately I did it, you know, and although it was satisfying, I did feel bad because he did get several jellyfish stings on his penis. And so I had to toot, I had to poop and farting. And I just let her rip because I'm like, we're in the open air. Like, who cares? And like, it's like these like stone slabs, you know, and it ricocheted off this fucking rock.
It's absorbed like the histories of 1,000 farts.
Yeah,
over the years.
and it like blasted it back out into the universe like a little like mushroom cloud. And Marco's like, you know, we're not the only people here, right? And I like turned around and there was this couple walking by, and the woman is like, oh, like looking at me and laughing like it, but she looks like horrified because she definitely heard it, and it was definitely a fart. It's not like, oh, did she like move her foot in a weird way against the rock? It's like, no, I farted. No, I ripped ass.
I think it's more so the smelling than the hearing.
I don't think, luckily she didn't smell it, but like,
oh my God,
that shit was Beyblades. I let it rip.
Is that the first time you've ever said that? Oh my God, I'm gonna resign. That was the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Thank you. No, but it's so funny what you were saying about like the dialects and everything, because in Germany, I was absorbing so much German semen that when I was speaking English to Marco, I was saying English words with like a German inflection. Like I was trying to say something. I was trying to tell him that something was longer, longer. And I said longer. And I was like, God damn.
You're like, I can't remember what the fuck movie it was. I don't know if it was, I think it was Booksmart, but there's a scene where these kids are going up in front of the class and talking about their summers. It might have been Lady Bird, but this one kid was talking about how he's like, so I went to Barcelona. I pronounced everything with like the lisp, the Spanish lisp. Yeah. And they're like, you were there for a month. Sit the fuck down.
No, but it's so true. And then when we were traveling to Italy, because our friends were getting married, I feel like I was having such a hard time adjusting to Italian because it was so different. I mean, like Germanic versus Latin languages are just like obviously completely different things. And I took Italian in college, so
it's like a caveman versus a Greek god, you know.
Yeah, and you know, obviously the Germans are the cavemen. So
right.
But I was trying.
Well, Marco's got the brow line to prove that.
He does. So. He's got a little bit of like the thick brow,
low brow.
And that big lumbering walk that he does.
The hunchback,
his knuckle dragging walk,
the hairy toes.
Right. He actually likes to like carry a club around with him, which is like a little off-putting. And I keep trying to tell him, you know, if you really want to like stereotype yourself like that, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but like the loincloth is also just a little bit much.
Like think about the community and the standard you're setting and the image that you're putting out there.
I think we've evolved past this. Well, but whatever. It's his life. Look, it's fine.
Evolution isn't really
well, it's not real.
The name of their game.
It's not real.
Right. Well, you know, Xenon, or what the fuck?
Right.
Xanadu.
Xanadu, fucking the ELO orchestra fucking song. Xanadu.
Speaking of Top Gun. No.
Oh my God. Xenon? Isn't that like a gas?
Xenon is like a Disney Channel original film.
Isn't there a neon gas called Xenon?
I have no idea at this point. This is way out of my depth.
This is beyond my scope. I'm not a scientist.
We went from Italian to fucking aliens.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, but just like the language is so, I mean, I feel like I was kind of picking up things here and there, which is cool.
Well, it's nice because it's sort of similar to Spanish. I feel like listening to some Italian, I get it. But also not at all.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, because I did study Italian, I was able to read and understand like signage and a lot of like menus and things like that. And I was able to pronounce things correctly. Like this was like the OCD freak in me. Like not being able to let it go that like other people were pronouncing things wrong. Like I just had this like
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
are you that bitch?
I had this intense
You're
anxiety
like,
about
actually,
it.
it's gnocchi. It's not gnocchi.
I know. I'm
someone
like,
say
it's
gnocchi?
bruschetta, not bruschetta, bitch. No,
How
but
about you, Bruce, shut the fuck up?
I just had so much anxiety about it, and I really had to just sit myself down and be like, it's not your fucking problem if they look stupid while saying something wrong. It's not your problem.
You're right. It is your problem if you choose to make yourself look stupid correcting them.
Right,
but-
exactly. So I luckily wasn't an asshole and wasn't like correcting people, but it just like I sat there with that anxiety and I was like, they're saying it wrong.
See, I'm worried that when I go to London, just the ass backward country way that they talk and speak and write, I'm gonna have difficulty reading menus.
Well,
with the
'cause-
missing T's,
Right,
and
and
F's and
the S instead of the Z. Sorry, the Z.
right, the Z.
Well, because that's where cavemen originated from,
right, Britain.
Britain.
That's gonna be difficult too because on the menu it's gonna say like British fish and chips, and I'll just have to connect the dots and fill in the blanks.
Right. And most British people can't read or write, so they have to be accommodating to the general
Fucking
public.
scribbles.
Just draw a crude picture of what they want.
Picture of a-
cheeseburger.
It's like a fucking crayon etching of a cup of tea and a kind of lumpy crumpet.
Would you like green tea or black tea?
you like?
Sorry, we ran out of green crowns. This one's purple.
Green crayon. Oh, crayons. See, I thought you said crowns. It's already hard for
Oh,
me.
it's too
I'm
much.
already having
It's-
a panic attack.
The language barrier is just too difficult. I'm sorry.
Part of me wants to be annoying and like see if I can get away with a British accent. But then because I did go to London one time before when I studied abroad in Denmark.
Wow.
And no, but we hopped over there. I hopped over there. I just kind of was by myself. And I had the thought a few times of faking a British accent. And then when the time came, I got so fucking nervous. I was like, I'm bailing.
Well, I guess that's tricky because there's different dialects and regions.
I just want to do a super Cockney one in the middle of London. That's
Right.
all. That's all.
They're going to be like, well, you from Essex or wherever the fuck the Cockney people are from.
I'm going to get a pipe, yeah. I'm going to get what the fuck? What the fuck's that Mary Poppins shit? Chimney? I'm going to dress up as a chimney sweep and just go around asking people if they can spare a pence. What the fuck are
A pound?
No, well, a pound is $1, but then they have all these like coins and shit.
Has the UK always had the pound?
Yes.
Like outside of the euro? The euro.
That's-
Euro.
The euro. That's so interesting because I feel like they have always had the pound.
Right.
But they were still part of the European Union. So I don't know.
And then they skedaddled out there.
And then that fucking scarecrow looking ass man took over and he's like,
Boris Johnson.
we're getting the fuck out of Europe. There's too many fucking bobbity boopies out there.
Totaloo losers.
We got the Nazis over there. We got the spaghetti eaters down there.
The cannoli fuckers.
The baguette swallowers. It's just not proper. We got to, keep to ourselves. Britain first. All that.
Yeah.
We are the superior race.
Yeah, no thanks, love. We're good.
No thanks, love. We don't need just spaghetti. All the consonants out. His like 4 front buck teeth like clicking against the mic. Ari.
They
So
they just speak in Morse code with their teeth.
I can't even do that because that hurts. Oh my god! I don't even think.
I
that's
wonder if the
picking up.
mic will pick that up.
That's my fingernails.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
They're like nutcrackers. If
Jesus
British people are like
Christ.
anything, it's fucking nutcrackers.
No, it's so funny though. Like with being in Germany, just speaking with his parents and everything obviously was like a little bit difficult because they don't really speak English at all. But the perks to English being Germanic is that so many words are similar. So
Like Haferflocken and oatmeal? What the
exactly.
fuck are you talking about?
And Krankenwagen and
And Flutterling, Schmetterling, or whatever. What is
No.
Krankenflocken? That sounds like a dance move.
Krankenwagen is like a ambulance.
Oh my god.
And Krankenhaus is like a hospital.
That sounds like crack house.
I know, crack house.
Yeah, do you want to go to the Krakenhaus?
Yeah, let's go to the crack house. No, German is so fucking funny to me because it's such a particular language that there are such subtle differences in words that mean completely different things. Like, for example, we saw a very colorful woodpecker. And
You also saw a nut gobbler, whatever the fuck that bird was called.
right, the cum guzzler.
Nah, bitch, that was the time you looked in a mirror.
That's what they called me over there.
I'm just talking about the massive fucking pigeon or dove.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you saw like a dog-sized bird.
Oh my god, it was so big and it was like eating berries nonstop. But no, there was a very colorful woodpecker. It was like yellow and red and it had like black and white spots, but it's called a Buntspecht. But when Marco told me what the name of it was, I thought he said Bunchbast. And Bunchbast means colorful moron.
Oh. Oh my god, I'm calling you that now.
That's what I'm calling Yoshi forever. My Bunchbast.
Dude, language is so fun because like if you go to Italy and you say, oh, I'm looking for a woodpecker, they'll show you a picture of Pinocchio's dick.
Right. A woodpecker.
And Italy is the birthplace of Pinocchio.
So they're not wrong.
Right. You gotta be careful because I remember my Spanish teacher from high school, I think my senior year, told us a story about these kids that went on a trip to Mexico, and they were like high school kids, and there were a bunch of kids, like children there, and one of the girls was trying to ask this kid how old she was, like how many years do you have, and instead of asking cuántos años tienes, she said cuántos años tienes,
no.
and the girl started crying because she asked how many anuses she had.
No, that's a very specific distinction in Italian too, because penne pasta is spelled Penne.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to in Italian, when there's a double consonant, you have to put the emphasis on the double consonant because penne. Because if you say penne, that means penis. Penne is penis.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. Because
how do you know when you're reading a menu though?
Because penis is spelled Penne. It's penne. Like, but penne pasta is double. N. Yeah, double.
What if there's a typo on the menu, but like you don't know if it's a typo or just a really exquisite, strange,
or like a crude joke that they're trying to play on all the stupid Americans?
You're like, yeah, I'll have the penne all vodka.
They're like,
and they just bring out a fucking chopped off penis in a pool of vodka.
Oh my god!
Did you just burp and laugh?
Dude, I was so fucking embarrassed. I burped so fucking loud in front of his grandpa because
you need to never speak to them again.
It was such an accident. I actually don't know if he heard me because he's a little hard of hearing and he was across the table.
You just solely farted and burped in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Hey, Opie, get a load of this." No, we were at a very lovely lunch that Opie paid for very generously. It was very sweet. And I had a delicious piece of like fish with like the German asparagus, like the massive fucking pieces of asparagus.
Oh my god.
With like hollandaise sauce, and it was so fucking delicious. Nice. And I opened my mouth because I could feel something in my teeth, and I could also tell that I needed to burp. So I was like, well, I'll just like pick this little bit out of my teeth and then I'll like discreetly burp. The second I opened my mouth to pull this shit out, I was like, burp.
And they all just like drop their silverware.
The whole restaurant gets quiet. No, I was so fucking embarrassed. It's not even funny. I was like, I covered my face with my napkin because like Marco was sitting to my right and his mom was sitting to my left. And I was like, oh,
did
my
anyone
God.
say anything?
They were like kind of laughing and Marco was like, Jillian.
I just picture like a Shrek moment where everyone around you just starts burping.
It's just like, brr, brr, brr.
One of us. One of us.
No, that's also not the first time I embarrassed myself in front of his family because.
Of course not.
Right. And it won't be the last. So kind of circling back to like the language discrepancies and how similar things are. Like
Sure.
I said colorful moron instead of like colorful woodpecker or whatever the fuck it is. And I had been like, whenever his parents would go to bed, they'd come in, they'd be like, oh, gute Nacht. And I'd say gute Nacht. Like exactly like that. Gute Nacht.
Yeah, good night.
But that's not what that means.
Oh my fucking
Because
God.
the CH is so particular, you have to say gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht.
Yeah, you have to say that because if you say gute Nacht, that means good naked. Which is what I was fucking saying to his parents the whole time. And he didn't tell me because he thought it was so fucking funny.
Dude, this is why travel is important if you can afford it, because you can understand what people who don't speak English and come to here and try to speak English feel like when they say some weird bullshit that doesn't make sense. They're like, I fucking get it, because it's impossible to speak another language. Yeah.
No, and in Italy too, like the word for fish and peaches is the difference of a letter. Because they're spelled so similar. So I was asking an Italian person like, oh, are the trees, are there peaches around here? But I said fish. And they were like, no, it's more towards the coast. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah. Have you heard of the Justin Bieber song Fish?
I got
my fish down in Giorgio. See, now I want to do a German accent because that's all we've been doing.
I know. I was really hardcore struggling. I like had just gotten down the German dialect and then we went over to Italy and I was like, ja, Pizza, bitte. Kann ich Tango und ein, ja.
It's like English, Spanish, German, Italian.
It's horrible.
Jesus.
I turned into the European Union.
They were all just like being channeled through you.
It was like a conduit.
I am but a vessel. This is a message.
I am the EU.
I come in peace. Give me all of your spaghetti. We demand pasta and wine.
What?
Starch, potatoes, meat.
Was that intentional?
I think I just burned a hole through Lauren's seat.
In case y'all couldn't hear that, so like maybe it's a good thing if you did it. But Jillian just said starch, potatoes, meat. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, the language shit is really fun for me, and I love even in Britain too. There's just like a different vocab about I don't know how you handle certain things, like saying cheers.
Right, or how like chips are fries
and biscuits are
cookies,
and crisps are chips,
and fanny is
pussy.
Yeah.
So your fanny pack is your pussy pack.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's the loo, the lift.
I was trying to say like, you know, hallo and like dankeschön, bitteschön, like certain things.
It's so embarrassing.
Dude,
You just feel like a fraud.
I guess in Marco's town, like where Marco's family lives, it's, you know, 45 minutes to an hour outside of Berlin.
And it's really like, green and beautiful. And
oh my God. Like there were like massive fields of like these wildflowers that were just like
insane,
bright red.
And here it's just like, I remember when I first came back to the US after being abroad for a couple months, and just the first thing I saw was like the first thing I saw was a fucking strip mall, and it was so depressing.
God,
and I had a phase where I was like, I fucking hate the US. I want to stay in Denmark, which Denmark is great, but moving to another country seems so incredibly impossibly difficult.
Yeah.
And the culture shock of that.
And I think it would be hard, like if theoretically Marco and I moved back to where he's from, because that town, like not a lot of people speak English. It's just such a small town.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if people came up to you and just assumed you spoke German.
Yes. Oh, all the time. Like every time a waiter or like if I was like going to order something or like if I was in a store, like they would ask me something in German and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, kein Deutsch. Es tut mir leid. But
I tuten farted.
I pooped farted. Oh fuck. I mean scheiße. No, I feel like though in Berlin, like it's such a multicultural city.
Oh, for sure.
Like I went to, there was like a cute little market happening and there was like a guy who had like a little, like, it was like such a cute little like trailer and he was like selling coffee and like lattes and whatever.
drugs.
And drugs. Yeah. And
You guys took ecstasy in the middle of the day. It was great.
right. And he offered us like a couple of handy J's on the house and we were like, well, you know, we'll pass maybe next
I've
time.
never heard you call it a handy J.
A handy J. Good old handy J. That's what my nickname was in high school. But I was ordering this latte and I said, oh, sprechen Sie English? And he was like, in English said, of course. I'm like, sorry.
You dumb bitch.
He's like, oh my God.
I was going to say too, I think there's a certain assumption if you go to like a homogeneous.
Homogeneous.
How the fuck? A homogeneous. A smart
That's
gay.
me. I'm a homogeneous.
Jillian's a homogeneous. I'm a homo idiot. Homoron. I'm a homoron. But I feel like if you look like the general population, they're gonna assume you speak the language, and if you don't, they're gonna assume you're a foreigner.
Right. Well, because I mean that's the other thing. Everybody in Germany is pale with light hair and blue eyes. And I was telling Marco, I was like, God, everybody here has blue eyes. Like, well, yeah, there's a reason for that.
We are mutants. We have
Well,
the
a certain
recessive
thing
gene.
in the 1930s to 40s is maybe the reason for that.
I
But
feel like that's just how it be. I feel like you either.
yeah, because all the other people died.
That's not why. Yeah, are you going to really say on this podcast that Hitler was successful? Is that the narrative that you want to sell?
No. I'm not saying all the other people died, but a lot of like the blue-eyed genes are just so prevalent.
Of course, because there was a mass genocide, obviously.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's so fucked up. Because, like, obviously Germany is more than just that.
Dude, I know, but speaking of Hitler, do you want to know something fucking crazy?
No.
Marco's grandfather,
No, Jill.
his godfather is legally Hitler.
Jillian.
And his
What does legally Hitler mean?
Because
Is that like legally blonde?
yes, legally Hitler. No, so there was like a really weird law in Nazi Germany where the sixth son of any household, Hitler was automatically the godfather of that son. And
What?
and they had to have Adolf as their second middle name. I'm not even fucking joking. His second middle name is Adolf. But
That doesn't. Do they not for a fucking group of people who thinks they understand how genetics work? Do they not understand how genetics work? I mean, I guess godson doesn't mean you're
dude,
genetically
he's fucking
related.
Hitler. He decided whatever the fuck he wanted. But it was just like an honorary thing. And if you had like more than like 7 kids or whatever, you got like a free house essentially. So his grandfather
It's just
grew
all
up.
red with swastikas. all
Yeah,
over
exactly.
it.
Decked out in Nazi shit.
Jesus,
But like
that I never knew that. That's fucking insane.
I know. So his grandfather grew up in a house gifted to his family from Hitler.
You don't get to say he's legally Hitler.
I didn't say he's legally Hitler.
You said he's legally Hitler.
What? When did I say that?
Dude, if we listen back to this podcast, you're gonna fucking lose your. That's why I made the legally blonde joke. When you said Marco's great uncle or whatever the fuck is legally Hitler. And I was
No,
like, hold
Hitler
on.
is legally his godfather.
You didn't say that.
Oh my god. That's what I meant.
He was genetically, legally a Hitler clone.
Okay, I was too excited by the information
Oh my
to get it
God,
out correctly.
Jillian.
No, but that's so fucking wild to me because like Marco, his family grew up in East Germany like before the Berlin Wall fell.
I'm never gonna let you live this down, but continue.
Oh my god, I know.
I mean, I had my suspicions about that bloodline, but
Well,
anyway, continue. They're all born with a fucking mustache.
yeah, his grandpa grew up in a house that was like gifted to his family from Hitler, and
Insane.
I know. And then but the thing is like because after the war, after like the wall went up and everything, his family just destroyed all of those records because it's like they didn't want to be tied to it.
His family destroyed the records of the house being given,
and that his grandfather's middle name is Adolf, because
and that he was legally Hitler.
Right, because they wanted to keep the narrative alive that Hitler killed himself. They didn't want people to know that his grandfather was legally Hitler. So, you know,
he transfused his fucking brain into his
right,
body.
like get out.
Holy fuck!
Oh my god,
oh
no.
My god.
So, but
him
yeah.
and his girlfriend are both living in his body.
Jesus Christ, no. That's why it's like it's such an unbelievable, wild story that we don't have any proof of because they destroyed the records of it because they didn't want to be tied to Nazi Germany. Understandably, obviously, but like it's just so fucking weird. And then his family unfortunately grew up in like the Russia occupied part of Germany, so they didn't have the fun side.
So wait, this is Marco's great grandfather?
No, his grandfather.
His grandfather.
Yes.
His middle name is Adolf.
Yes.
Is it illegal to call your kid Adolf in Germany? Or maybe that's in the U.S.
I think so. I don't think it's in the U.S. There's
Actually,
no way.
You're right. There's definitely some white supremacists with a
Oh,
little
for
Adolf.
sure. Because that's like, is that like free speech? I don't know.
I don't know.
I bet you could Google that. Can you name?
Or maybe I'm misremembering.
I just looked it up. It's the full name. You cannot use the full name.
You can't name your kid Adolf Hitler.
Right.
What about Hitler Adolf? There are loopholes.
Well, yeah, it's not technically the same.
You know what's insane? I feel like there's, well, I don't know the statistics about this. I feel like there's more neo-Nazis in the U.S. than in actual Germany. But maybe that's not even true.
I would surmise that that's true.
Well, I mean, on a population level, 100%. But it's fucking insane because you look at the history of these countries who apparently now seem to have figured their shit out in terms of like, well, not entirely, obviously. No country's perfect, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure they have shit to work on. But
the U.S. is pretty perfect if you ask me.
Obviously, that's the exception, okay? We're not talking about. The U.S. isn't a country. It is a feeling,
it's a state of mind.
It is a state of being. But they've had some time to figure their shit out after years of trauma and bullshit, right?
Yeah. Well, and they actually fucking acknowledge the shit that they've done.
That's what the fuck I'm saying. And so the U.S., everything is so fresh and we're so young and we haven't had time. I mean, we've had time. People haven't fucking put in the work.
Right.
You know who I'm talking about, you fucking problematic whites. But like there's so much stuff that's recent that we're still like pretending doesn't exist.
That's why because Juneteenth just passed as we were recording this.
Yeah.
And of course, like a lot of fucking dumb white Americans are upset that this is a holiday now.
Or they didn't know what it was at first and they didn't have a problem. And now that they know what it is, they're like, well, this ain't right. There's only one Independence Day and that's the 4th of July. I'm like, that's not what this is.
All these black people just getting drunk on Juneteenth. How dare you?
How fucking dare they celebrate their emancipation, their actual emancipation? God forbid.
Be right back, though. Gonna plan my 4th of July plans where I get blasted.
I know.
Anyway, it's just kind of wild that,
that people would get upset about Juneteenth.
I know. Like,
it's like, just say you're a fan of slavery and move on.
All the shit that they've gone through in this country, like
being property.
Right. Like, it's suffice to say, I think they deserve a fucking day off. Like, what the fuck?
It's insane.
It's just fucking stupid. Like we were saying, like a lot of neo-Nazis exist in the U.S. I mean, there are people like that in Germany.
Yeah,
obviously.
Let's be very clear. There is intense racism in Europe, and like Atlanta as a show in general is incredible. But the most recent episode, they go on a tour in Europe, and there are a few episodes that cover racism in Europe, like in Amsterdam, the Black Pete. Blackface stuff that happens every Christmas. There is some deep-seated racism that's just bedded in like fucking ignorance and stupidity and like, they say it's tradition, but it's really just straight up racism.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like from the fucking beginning of time, white people have just felt like they were superior, it feels like, and then felt the need to subjugate like anyone with a darker skin color. I don't understand the psychology of that.
I don't either. And I don't think I'm ever going to try to, because it's just so heinous.
Because like if you're looking at human psychology and you look at any in-group, right? Any in-group should have that certain level of like bias, like a positive bias towards themselves. Any in-group would think, well, we're better than these fucking people. That's how groups work.
Right.
But for whatever reason, it was just like a bunch of like awful fucking evil white people that just like imposed their will on everyone.
I know. I mean, I also understand that, like, as developing nations, like, you know, European people meshing with like Asian people or Native American people or black people or whatever, they like see a different looking person and they're like, oh, like that's different and weird. And I would understand like how seeing a person of a different color for the first time is like jarring.
Yeah.
But then to be like, you know what? That's mine.
You know what? I'm willing to bet I'm smarter and more talented and more handsomer than you.
I'm going to make you my property.
I bet you don't deserve human rights.
You don't look like you want to be treated as a person.
Have you seen these teeth? These are the teeth of a superior race.
These choppers can chop through 50 blocks of wood.
Through human bone. So you best not get near me.
Don't sass me. I'll bite ya.
But no, it's like just to claim superiority just because your skin is a lighter shade is the almost the definition of insanity.
Oh my God, I know. I mean, and no,
like I love how we're saying this like this is groundbreaking knowledge.
I know. Did you guys know that
Racism bad?
racism is bad and slavery existed? Isn't that crazy? We're just like hand holding like preschoolers through our podcast.
It is not right to judge a person based on their skin color.
Isn't that revolutionary? Now, it's
If you think it's revolutionary, join our Patreon
subscribe, like, and comment.
where we'll be selling racism bad shirts at just $50 a pop.
This Juneteenth, celebrate racism bad.
Not two white hoes selling Juneteenth merch.
Oh my God.
no.
Dude, yeah. I just think, obviously, like we've been saying, like all these countries have such like rich histories.
I'm going to cut this down so small.
No, I know.
I feel like we're just repeating ourselves.
But like all these other countries were fucking built on slavery too. Like
100%.
Italy was built on slavery, and I'm sure Germany was fucking doing their own shit. So
the moral of the story is the world was
Slavery bad.
built on slavery.
yeah. Honestly, I will say though, going to Europe did make me feel a little less anxious about like climate change and all that shit because of how they handle like recycling and everything.
Yeah, the way they just burned piles of plastic. It was really impressive.
It's so efficient. Like I didn't think that, that was possible, but they just burn their plastic.
It just disappears.
Right.
Like, the fact that we haven't thought about this before is kind of insane.
And if you're feeling like a little bit lazy, you can also just flush it down the toilet, which is also pretty efficient.
Out of sight, out of mind, baby.
Exactly. Like it just disappears. So the environment is saved is what I'm trying to say.
Thank God. Europe doing something right. We may, can't really overlook the whole racism, but
Well, yeah.
What were you saying about the environment? Why are you giving me that look?
I don't know. What are you bringing this back for?
Because we never finished the thought.
Oh, no, it
Dumb
just
bitch.
made me feel like
Why did it make you feel better about climate change?
because they have their shit under control.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
No, I know. Yeah,
Their
that's
tampons didn't have a lot of plastic.
well, yeah, the fucking tampons were so different, and like all the beer bottles have been used by like 50,000 other people before they've touched your lips.
They just pass it around.
Yeah, they're like, here you go. It's just like spit by the time you get it.
Well, they piss back into it and then they drink the piss because it's pure.
Well, that's what beer is. That's beer in its purest form.
Swirling hot piss.
Right.
I have so much more I want to talk to you about, but I feel like I just saw Jillian today for the first time in 2 weeks, so it's been kind of us just catching up
No,
and you're
I know.
listening in. So
We were joking, but also kind of serious. Like this is the Jillian episode because
this is the Jillian episode.
there was so much to discuss and like catch up on.
It's Jillian's world.
I want some
German stuff.
Oh yeah, well, we'll see you on the next podcast episode, which I guess I'll be in London the next time we're
Oh my
recording.
God. Well, the next episode will most likely be 100% less German.
Thank God it'll be. Now the next episode we have to make 100% British.
Okay, let's do a British accent.
I'll buy some fake teeth on Amazon.
Some George Washington motherfuckers.
We'll make some tea and crumpets and go to town.
Tea and biscuits.
Oh yeah. Well, until next time, stay American, stay free, and racism bad.